So what about the debt ceiling, man? I know.
So
What about
here's
that?
the thing. Here's the thing that I will say. Consequences of presidencies take a long time to show, if that makes sense. Like you do one thing in your presidency and it's probably going to take quite a long time for things to actually start breaking or things to actually start working. You see that with, I mean, I could point to 1,000 different examples, but if there's any president who increased our debt, if you look at all of the debt that has ever accrued over the history of America, 25% of it belongs to one president in one term. Do you know who that president is?
I do believe it is Donald J. Trump.
It is Donald J. Trump.
Yeah,
It is Donald
he added
J. Trump.
$7.8 trillion to the national
25%.
After swearing during the 2015 and 2016 election cycle that he would actually not only not add to the debt, he would wipe out all the debt he inherited from President Obama and President Bush and President, whoever.
I know,
Clinton.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, of course. And it's so frustrating to like see. I mean, we all kind of knew this was going to happen, right? That he was going to just like disturb things, and then it would be placed onto the next president, and then everyone's going to blame that next president. Not to say that Biden hasn't added to the debt, right? Obviously, he has, but like
about $4 trillion
comparatively,
between 4 and 5.
And how much did Trump do?
7.8.
Yeah. Listen,
here's the thing, though, because I'm going back and forth with. I might even see if I can pull these tweets up because they're hilarious. I go back and forth with conservatives on Twitter. So it's funny. I tend to like reserve my aggression towards conservatives in like YouTube comment sections and Twitter, right? Like I tend to be like just nicer in general when it's on stream. It's different when it hits different when you're actually talking to a person and having a civil conversation, but people tend to be.
But when you get to be anonymous.
Well, it's not even that because like, my profile
hide
picture
behind a screen. Sure.
Well, no, not even that either, because unlike you, I show my handsome face on Twitter and stuff like that. You have this like stylized photo of you.
Oh, true, but it's still me.
I think you actually took it from your Pornhub account, if I remember correctly.
I did. Well, no, it was my Rumble account, but that's fine.
Well, no, remember the chain. So you first were a performer in the amateur section on Pornhub, then you transitioned to Rumble. It
wasn't Pornhub. It was XXX Hamster and OnlyFans. Okay, you get it correct. Okay.
I apologize.
No, it's fine. I had an exclusivity deal. Okay. So I made sure that I stood by it.
More like a triple exclusivity deal.
Nice. Nice. Hey, yo.
Hey, but where have we? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I tend to like reserve. Listen, man, this caffeine is not kicked in yet. So you just got to chill.
No, I can tell it's kicked in. It's kicked in a little too much.
Look.
Oh, I keep going the wrong way.
Oh my gosh.
This is so bad.
It is. It's a very enlarged heart. But anyway, I tend to reserve my aggression towards like comment section and Twitter. And it's fun sparring with conservatives on the debt ceiling because, like we just talked about, you pointed out that Trump added 25% of the nation's debt in 4 years. I think it's actually by far the single biggest contribution by a one-term president in the history of the United States. Perhaps not in terms of raw percentage, but certainly in terms of raw dollars. I'm sure, FDR added more to the debt as a matter of percentage. He may have very well created it, for all intents and purposes.
No, for sure.
But in raw dollars, Trump has added more than any sitting president. And in terms of percentages of modern presidents, he's added more than any modern president. People will appeal, well, what about Obama? Obama added more to the debt than Trump. In two terms. After inheriting an economic crisis from the previous guy. So, no. At the rate Trump was spending, he was going to eclipse Obama if he got a second term. But anyway.
Yeah, the economy that Obama walked into and the economy that Trump walked into, they're not even comparable.
Wildly different. And actually, that's also fun to point out. It's fun to point out that in modern history, since Reagan, Democrats have inherited shitty economies from their Republican predecessors, had to spend 4 to 8 years rebuilding it, then pass it off to the next Republican, and then the Republican
then to tank it again.
Yeah. So that happened with Clinton when he inherited Reagan and George H.W. Bush's economy. And actually, to be fair to George H.W. Bush, he also inherited kind of a bad economy from President Reagan, because I think unemployment was crazy high towards the end of Reagan's presidency.
Really?
And yeah,
You're telling me that all that shit talking of people on welfare didn't contribute to their problems?
No, I know it's so hard to believe, but apparently like trickle down economics just like didn't
Just
work
didn't
or
work.
something like that. But yeah, so it's fun to point that out. But so when you point out the 25% thing, as far as Trump's contributions to the national debt, and then the conservatives have pivoted, at least in conversations I've had with them on Twitter. They're like, oh yeah, well, Biden's added to the debt, and at the rate Biden's going, if Biden continues to spend at his current rate, he'll match or exceed Trump at the end of 4 years. And I'm like, that may be true. That may. We don't know. Maybe.
Right.
But even if so, we don't care, because it's your argument, conservatives, that adding to the debt is inherently bad and we need to be fiscally responsible. That's not our argument. We just use it against you because it's fun, because you're hypocrites and losers.
Because every single time that a Republican president gets into power, they always add to the debt, even though they've campaigned against that very idea.
Right.
Every single time.
Right.
I don't think there's any Republican president who's broken that cycle.
No, not at all. The last time that we had a surplus was under President Clinton, Democrat, right? So that's the thing. Like, even if I grant you all your premises, let's say that Biden, outspends Trump. Who cares? Like, we're not shackled to that standard. It's your standard, conservatives, that, that presidents have to behave with fiscal responsibility and should not spend more than we take in from revenue.
Right.
That's a standard that I'm not obliged to concede to that, because that was never my claim in the first place. I'm just saying that if that's the standard, we do it better than you. Democrats are better than Republicans by Republicans' own standards. So it's fun. It's intoxicating, rubbing in the objective inferiority of the Republican Party to Democrats. The Democrats as a party, not individuals. I'm sure you can find exceptions, and certainly not voters. There's some really dumb, really mean Democratic voters out there. I'm talking about it as parties, right? As policies, thought leaders. The Democratic Party is objectively superior to the Republican Party in every possible way. I think if there are not studies on this, there should be. I'm sure it ranges from intellect to sexual prowess all the way through. Democrats are just better. And that's
classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
I love pointing that out.
I know.
Sorry,
you do.
I'm frothing
time.
at the mouth there. It's my favorite.
You got like
thing.
you went on your little diatribe.
Okay.
And I love it.
Thank you. I don't even know. Like, as far as I'm concerned, we just end the stream now. Like, because I said everything I need to say.
That's everything that you want to get across every single time, is that the Democrat Party is just better than the Republican Party in every single way. And then you just go on your little adverbs, and all of the adverbs, they get increasingly more ridiculous, and it's just so good.
What do you mean ridiculous? I will defend. I will die on the hill of everything I just said.
Sexual prowess.
Yes.
Okay.
Even that. Yeah.
You're gonna have to prove that, buddy.
Okay. All right, guys. we're switching.
Now we end the stream.
Yeah. But keep your camera on. No. Yeah. So stupid. What if we did that and like we actually like 2 weeks later saw an uptick in Republican voter registration? Like, they were like, you know what? There was like a mass exodus. Like,
honestly, I wasn't really with them until this stream ended, and then they posted the
You've
video
made a
later,
persuasive case.
Went, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe this is pretty true.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So getting back to the debt ceiling. So you brought up that. Well, so what else do you think about it? So you established that Trump added more to the debt than any president. But now I'm going to play the devil's advocate just Socratically.
Sure.
Say,
I'm not super well versed in economics, but go ahead.
Well, I would say, Staxioms. Joe Biden is president now. So, okay, Trump sucks, but he's no longer president. We're 2 years into the Biden administration. What does that have to do with raising the debt ceiling now? We already raised the debt ceiling to accommodate Trump spending under Trump and in 2021 under Biden. Now it's 2023. Why should we do it now?
Why should we raise the debt ceiling?
Yeah, like in relation.
So I just want to make sure. Okay,
you established that, like, you began with Trump, how Trump added to the debt. Mm-hmm. I'm an enlightened conservative. I'm conceding that. You know what? Trump was an idiot, a fool, objectively inferior in all ways to every Democrat who has ever lived anywhere, ever.
Uh-huh.
Where was it? What was I saying? No,
I'm trying to
but
figure out I'm trying to figure out what your point is. I'm listening to the enlightened centrist,
so
and your point is,
we
why are we
talked.
talking about Trump? Why are we talking about
Yes. Why are you appealing to Trump from 2017 to 2020 in terms of the
because he
debt ceiling?
contributed to this problem? I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same board. So I'm not talking about how to solve this problem, which we can get
Sure.
into. I really just want to acknowledge who created this problem, if that makes
Right.
sense. If we could pin this on one person foremost, who could that be? Great. Now that we've established this, let's go ahead and fix this. Right.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure that we understood who the actual person was, so that we can make our informed decisions later on down the line
Fair.
about who we want in office. We should probably avoid figures who just say, hey, I'm just going to wipe the debt ceiling, when we have a pretty proven track record that they do no such thing.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, I agree with you. It's good to it's good to get it out in the open that again the relative track record between the two parties in terms of managing situations like this. Now, I will say that conservatives, I haven't seen them say this, but I'm sure they are. They'll say to that, they'll say, Stacks, I hear you. But so raising the debt ceiling is to accommodate previous spending, right? It's not to accommodate new spending, which is what
Right.
conservatives say all the time. And they'll say, fair enough, Stacks. I accept everything that you just said, except Trump's contribution to the debt has been taken care of because we've already raised the debt ceiling to accommodate his spending. His spending is taken care of. That was what the last debt ceiling increase was for. Now Biden has pushed us over and to the point that we need to raise the debt ceiling again.
Right. So your argument is that we should accommodate for Trump, but not for Biden, for no.
Conservatives do make that
Yeah.
argument. Yep, I've seen conservatives make that argument still. Like,
Right.
okay, well, when does it end, Staxioms? Okay, so two wrongs make a right. So just because we've done it in the past, that means we're obligated to do it now. And it's precisely what you just said.
Mhm.
The implicit argument is
that we should accommodate for my people, but not for yours.
right, even though the consequences would affect everybody.
But yeah, correct. Right.
Yes. So what would you say to that? Like if you were freestyling like a conversation with somebody.
If I were wait, hold on. If I were freestyling in that, I don't feel like you gave a response. I feel like you just agreed with what I said.
No, well, they would say two
what's the
wrongs don't
response?
make a right. Two wrongs
Sure.
don't make
Well,
a right.
I feel like hold on one second. So, God, debt ceilings are first off, you brought up this topic. I'm not super well versed in
Okay, well then I'll take over
I
from
am
here.
floundering a little bit.
No, it's fine. So to me, I would appeal to the consequences therein because
sure.
You know, the thing that frustrates me is, and this is the problem with I think the modern day Republican Party, is it's all about short-term political gains, not even short-term societal gains. Like, did you watch Game of Thrones?
No.
I'm trying to think of a good metaphor here.
Okay,
but anyway, so like,
fan, okay, you can still love me, I promise.
I don't feel like there's really a good Star Wars analogy. But anyway, if I knew of one,
no,
I
just
would
use the Game of Thrones one, and I'll see if I understand.
No, but anyway, let's basically, I would even understand if Republicans made short-term decisions which
benefit the populace.
Yes, but they don't even do that. It's short-term political gain for their party.
For optics, yeah.
Right. And so the problem to me is when people appeal to okay, so we've accommodated the debt ceiling before, ergo we're obligated to accommodate it again and again and again. It's actually like, yeah, because if we don't, the economy will crater.
Everyone.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember. I don't know if Moody's Analytics or any of these like reputed, like Goldman Sachs, if they've done any analysis for 2023. But I remember when I was Ruminate, aka Rum1N8.
True.
I remember
what is your new at? Is it Pondering Politics?
It is. It's Pondering Politics. I need to throw it up in the lower third.
Is there like a hyphen?
There was an underscore, but I got rid of it actually last night because I figured.
What are you on Twitter? I'm just curious.
The Pondering.
Oh, I see.
Or wait a minute. It might be
the Pondering underscore.
Yeah, hang on. It is. Damn, you're putting me on the spot here. Like, who remembers their handles? Nobody remembers their handles. Follow Pondering on Twitter. I'm going to do it right now. Oh, snap. It's right here. Yeah. Oh, shit. No, it's not. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Look at that. Boom.
Beautiful.
And the reason it's the Pondering is because and we talked about this too.
Well, you're doing pondering politics and pondering pop
But I
culture.
haven't done anything with pop culture yet because
Sure.
basically I'm like pouring all of my blood, sweat, tears, and other bodily fluids into this channel. But I don't want to pigeonhole myself in terms of like social media. So
Sure.
otherwise, I would
Sure.
have been pondering politics. Man, where were we going with that? We're talking about the debt ceiling.
We were. I was just asking.
Oh,
Sorry that I would just want to know who you are.
I wish people wanted to know who I am, but I'm actually see the problem is having you here is you leech all the attention because you have 29,000 followers on TikTok,
On
which by the
TikTok.
way, guys, follow Staxioms on TikTok at
How many do you
Staxioms.
have on TikTok?
It doesn't
how many
matter.
popular
Numbers
do you
don't matter. Shut up. It doesn't
Just curious.
matter.
Just curious.
No, stop it.
You still ruminate on?
No, I'm not. You'll never find me. Go screw yourself.
I'll never find you. We
You'll
follow
never
each
find me.
other.
No, fake news. I unfollowed you. I tried to get you. I
so
am not
sad.
going to contribute to your 30,000 follower threshold. So I unfollowed you. I should make a TikTok saying that all of my followers should unfollow your followers or unfollow you. So
Do it. See if anything happens.
probably not. Again, you'd probably increase. They'd probably be like, you know what? We'll get him to 40.
Who's
now.
this guy?
Yeah.
And then you start following me, and you're like, I like his takes.
Yeah, but yeah, so like so Moody's Analytics, I know they did like an analysis, a predictive analysis of what would happen in late 2021 because I don't know if you remember, but we've been here in December 2021 when the debt ceiling needed to be raised.
No, yeah, I remember, yeah.
And so Moody's did this like thing, like it would cost instantly if we defaulted, we would see in a matter of days 6 million jobs lost. Unemployment would drop, or excuse me, raise back to like 9%. $15 trillion in household wealth, $15 trillion in domestic household wealth would be wiped out.
Would be wiped, yeah.
Because contrary to popular dipshit right-wing belief, like contrary to what your racist uncle says at Thanksgiving, it's not foreign creditors that hold the majority.
No, I don't know where that comes from. Well, I think I do. I think it's that Chinese bonds are in American dollars. They're like, oh, technically, like the way that I always heard it growing up is that China
owns our debt.
Like is not just owns our debt, but is like sending us money like through the mail. Basically, that's just how I heard it. Like every single time is just like China's paying our debts right now, so we owe China, and then we have to pay that back to China eventually. And I go, oh shit, that sounds like a real problem. Oh my god! And then I learned that it's not that at all. It's that Chinese bonds are an American dollar. So technically that loan exists through our dollars, but that's good. That makes China reliant on us.
This idea. I feel like here's the thing. Like this, again, this could fractal off into so many interesting substantive conversations because even that particular tangent, right? Like I'm not an economist. As a matter of fact, and I know you said this, earlier as well, that, that it's not your forte either. One of my resolutions, and actually I'll send you the link. So a buddy of mine and I are actually going through, we're going to read I can't remember the name of it, but it's by Paul Krugman, who is a highly reputable, or Krugman, Krugman.
I always heard it. Krugman,
yeah. And he wrote this really reputable deep dive into macroeconomics. And one of the things I want to do this year is to widen my knowledge base, on things outside of just politics, but also philosophy and economics, because there's such an overlap. And by the way, can you move a little bit so your head is in the camera at all times? Because just angle the camera a bit. Like because half the time you're like,
well, I'm looking at this screen. Okay.
Sorry. Just angle the camera so that if you are looking at that screen, your handsome visage is still there. We need the views, man. And if you're not on camera, it's just me.
You're right.
We're never going to get the views.
Right. Thank you for this.
Jesus. Anyway.
What did he write? Paul Krugman.
Well, no. So we're going to start, I don't want to say a book club, but we're both going to read through this. He was an economics major, this buddy of mine. And so he's kind of in a position to tutor more in-depthly. But he recommended this book, and he's like, dude, I'll go through this with you. And so I'm going to send you the link. And if it's something you want, I think we're going to try to do a chapter a week or every 2 weeks or something. Anyway, I digress. But it is interesting to me, even I, as a neophyte in economics, knew that when people were like, China owns our debt, it's a one-sided relationship, my God, they're going to come cash it. It's like, no, if we go under, they go under. That's actually the beauty of this deeply symbiotic.
That's globalism, baby.
Yeah, they can't afford for us to go under. If
Yeah.
they hear about the debt ceiling thing, and I guarantee you Xi Jinping is like sweating right now. He's like, please, for the love of God, raise the debt ceiling.
Yeah.
He's like texting Marjorie Taylor Greene with like, like probably with using as few words as possible for her poor intellect, but like, please raise ceiling. You need raised ceiling. You know what I mean? And she's like
Yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah.
struggling to comprehend. It
Still
would be
still struggling,
terrible.
yeah.
It would be
No,
terrible.
100%, and it's so weird. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else had that same. Did you grow up like
I
under
did.
that same sort of like idea that China not just owns our debt, but is like paying for our debt? Like
I
that's how
never
that
heard
works.
that particular one. That to me
Okay,
is like an even more specific offshoot, but the general thesis of
sure.
where they have the dominant position in our relationship, even though
Yeah,
it's
it's
actually,
just so
yeah,
weird. It's so weird. I don't know. I don't know. I
yeah,
mean, it's not weird to me. I understand exactly why it's doing what they're doing there.
sure.
They're vilifying China. They're vilifying our government. They're basically wanting to make sure that it seems like um that we are beholden to this foreign power and
And
that they are going to take us over at any moment.
they're vilifying globalism, like you said. Like to me,
Yeah,
that's the biggest one. Like they're wanting to go back to this. Was it President Wilson, Woodrow Wilson, who wanted like this isolationist, during like
that's just silly.
the prelude to World War I, where we're just gonna like fold in unto ourselves, and it could be autarky, I think is what it's called, where we do literally everything ourselves, where we have no real global trade relationships. All of the means of production, all the entire market system is done
Yeah, is done
in-house. Yeah,
inherently. Yeah,
and which is
it's
grossly inefficient. It's not really feasible.
Hey you! Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, and I hope that you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below. And if you absolutely hated the video, the best revenge for you is also to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. That'll teach me. If you want to share an opinion or share some feedback, go ahead and leave a comment, all right? 2023 is a year of change, hence the aggressive rebrand and commitment to new content. Inspired by my friends Luke Beasley and STV Philly, my personal goal for this channel is to hit 40,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So I'm hoping you'll do me a solid by spreading the word and the videos to potential fans and hate watchers alike. And in the meantime, we'll be pondering politics again with you very soon.